What's going on, traders? Sandro O'Connell with Pristine Capital. Welcome to another market recap video. It is June 10th, 2021. Wow, I almost said January 10th. That would be so off. Please go ahead and click the like button on this video and subscribe to my channel if you enjoy this content. I will continue to make it for you. It really helps the YouTube algorithm, all that jazz. Today we're going to be talking about the price action in the indices. We'll go under the hood and check out our sectors and style factors. We'll talk about some of my trades for the day. I didn't have all that many today. And then we'll wrap up with some options order flow. Before we jump in, quick risk disclaimer, nothing in this video should be construed as investment advice or recommendations. Please follow your own trading plan and your own risk parameters. And last but certainly not least, do not YOLO your entire account into any one of my trades. All right, so let's jump in here. So today we had the inflation data that was coming out this morning, dropped at 8:30 a.m. Eastern time. The inflation data came out. It was above expectations. I believe we had like 5.1% year over year increase in inflation. I think expectations were about 4.7%. So we came in above expectations, and coming into this session, I actually thought that could be a big stumbling block for the markets, where I was like, this could be binary. If it comes in light, that would be great. If it comes in heavy, that's not so great. But the market ended up just taking it in stride. We had a really good day in the markets. We had the S&P 500 as measured by the SPY close up 0.46%. We had the NASDAQ QQQ close up 1.04%. We had the IWM small caps. They had a rough day, down 0.74%. And then we had the Dow Jones up 0.06%. Looking at our S&P 500 here, we continue to ride this wall of worry higher over time. So we're really just stair-stepping up. You can see we tagged this monthly value area high here at around 4208, and we pushed off of that, and we did not close on the highs of the day, but we did close at a new all-time high. So that's pretty fantastic, and you would never know that given how cautious everyone is on the markets, given all these fears, uncertainties, doubts, investor FUD in the market. It's so funny. That's a term all the crypto guys use. They're always like, all this FUD, and they think it's all completely BS. There's some legitimate concerns, but yeah, it's kind of funny, that term. Anyway, all right, so we had these 3 days of tight price action. Now we got this bullish outside day, which is pretty cool. And what was interesting about today's session was, it was like, oh my gosh, these inflation numbers came out really hot. So I told everybody in the Pristine Capital trading community, I was like, all right, guys, buckle up. This could be pretty rough here. And keep in mind, it's not like I came into today like position short or anything. I was long. But I was just mentally prepared for today we could get hit. And, the price action just, developed just fine. So take a look at this. We'll go to our 5-minute chart just to show you what a wild day of price action this was. So this is 9:30 right here, S&P 500. Keep in mind, we ripped all the way up to 42.49. Then at around 10 o'clock, we sold off on high volume here. So we broke above this daily value area here. Broke below it, excuse me. And then you can see oh my gosh, we're down at 42.19. But then throughout the session, we just bounced right back. We didn't close on the highs. You can see we kind of drifted into the close. So yeah, if you were, really actively trading today, this could have been a very confusing day. It's like, all right, we're high, we're low, we're high again. Now we're going lower into the close. Just very confusing. For that reason, over the past couple days, I've been a lot lighter on my trading because I know this is, we're in this summer trading. We're a week away from OPEX. We have some of these binary events coming up in the market, like we have Fed Wednesday next week. So I've been a lot less active, and I've been getting up from my screens a lot more to just prevent me from over trading this. So this was kind of perfect where I was able to avoid just over trading, getting shaken out, that whole thing. Let's jump over to the NASDAQ really quick. NASDAQ, you can see we're closing in on all-time highs here. Another bullish outside day, and you can see we are very close to that R1 pivot level at 14,046 on the NASDAQ. And yeah, we're knocking on the door of all-time highs. So kind of crazy to see, from a month ago where we were and where sentiment was in the NASDAQ to where we are now. Pretty incredible stuff. And then Russell down 0.74%. The Russell, this thing, oh my gosh. So whenever it looks like it's going to break down, never happens. Whenever it looks like it's going to break higher, never happens. You can see we had gotten pretty extended from our key moving averages, which are down here. We just had the 20-day simple moving average cross above the 50. And, rather than just pushing straight out of this consolidation period that we've been in for months, we've had 2 back-to-back red days. So we're still above this monthly value area, still looking good on that front. We're still above the key moving averages, but just hit some turbulence today. And the Dow Jones only up 0.06%. We're going to dive a little bit further into this when we go into the sectors and style factors, which you're about to do. Yeah, Dow Jones down up 0.05%, excuse me. And you can see we traded all around the map today, and we closed at pretty much a doji candle here. It looks like a slight red candle, some distribution on the Dow Jones. Let's jump into our market breadth. Let's see what we got here. So we have positive breadth in 3 out of the 4 headline indices. Negative breadth in the small caps, which makes sense. They were pretty red on the day. Yeah, overall looking pretty solid here. Going to our heat map, you can see the strength was really concentrated in mega cap tech. So Adobe on fire today. Amazon really strong. Tesla, Microsoft, Google, you name it. All these names were very strong. We had strength in healthcare, medical devices as well. Those were the big standouts. You can see some of the areas that struggled a bit more were, this space over here, which is restaurants, leisure, travel, those kinds of names. Financials struggled a little bit as well, and these industrials. So a lot of those inflation-sensitive areas of the market really struggled today. Whereas, the duration-sensitive assets, such as these mega cap tech names, really performed. Let's pull up a couple of these. We'll pull up Adobe. We will pull up Amazon because those were really interesting. So let's see Adobe. Adobe, really nice move higher. You can see this very quickly is pushing up to a new all-time high. Now let's look at the weekly chart. Ooh, nice. So this is pushing out of the yearly value area. So Adobe, this is definitely going to be on my radar for tomorrow. Most def. So looking really good here. A lot of these mega cap tech names look very, very similar. So this is interesting where we have the NASDAQ that's approaching an all-time high. A lot of these tech names have been idle for the past 6 to 9 months. So who's to say that Adobe can't go on a nice run here? What happens if it pulls an NVIDIA? Let's see. Look what NVIDIA did when it made a new all-time high. We pushed to highs, we had a little bit of a correction here, and then boom, we were off to the races. Could Adobe do the same thing? Absolutely. Another name that caught my attention today was Amazon. Amazon has been consolidating very tightly for months and months and months since last summer. Yeah, it entered this zone in July. We're about to be, we're 1 month away from that. So a year of consolidation. Think about that. And this is probably the best company in the world. Amazon just pushed out of this monthly value area high. So do I want to sleep on Amazon here? Absolutely not. So we'll see what the river brings on that. But yeah, some of these names really standing out. And then let's jump into our sectors and style factors. All right, sectors. I'm just having some fun here. So sectors, this ARC Genomics Fund, we are long this in the Pristine Capital Trend Portfolio, is up 2.71% today. And it's up 11.66% on the month. So really performing very well. This thing had gotten very beat up. And you can see our worst performing sector is now the home builders. They were down 1.17% today. And you can see a lot of these cyclical areas of the market really took it on the chin. You can see the SPAC ETF was down 1.5%. European financials down 1.67%. We had the regional banks, which are down as well. And you can see industrials also. So yeah, it looks like even though we got that inflation print, my guess, and I think everyone loves to assign narratives to the price action. The best narrative I can think of is, the market thinks that the worst of these inflation fears are behind us. So that's my, if you really want to cling to a narrative, there you go. I just gave it to you. So sectors, style factors, growth was up 1.07% today. Next best performing style factor was defensives, and then Minvol. So it's not really the most risk on configuration. Like, I think it's good that growth stocks are up. The defensives and the Minvol, we don't really necessarily want those leading the market, but we'll have to see. I'm sure like the Amazons and the Adobes probably make up these style factor ETFs, so it might not necessarily be a bad thing, but something I'm keeping an eye on. Worst performing style factor was cyclicals. Let's take a look at some of my trades for the day. Like I said, I was not all that active today, which for me was a good thing. So yeah, for options trades, I did 2 trades today. Nice short list. Sometimes, for me, it's almost like judging, if I'm like sloppy or keeping things tight. Like if I have like 20 trades on this sheet, that likely means either I'm stopping out or, I see like a lot of opportunity in the market. To me, it's good when things are like this ambiguous and this just like all over the place. Then I'm trying to keep things a little bit tighter in terms of trade selection. So I got long the CrowdStrike July 16th 220 strike calls. This was at 9:57 a.m. Let's take a look. CrowdStrike looks awesome here. It's finished up 6.85%. And CrowdStrike is another one of these names where it's a fantastic cybersecurity name. They just reported earnings. And they reported earnings literally after the close on this red candle here. The following day, this stock just completely flushed out. Sometimes that happens, even if it's a good company and even if the report is pretty good. You'll get players that for whatever reason, they decided to exit the stock. And then, here we go. The stock just rose from the ashes. Looking at the weekly chart, that's not the weekly, that's the hourly. Hourly looks great though. Boom. Out of this weekly value area, this looks awesome. Well, let's take a look at the weekly. Yeah, weekly is setting up really nice. So could this make it back to the prior high of 251? That is definitely in play. So I got long that. Those 220 strike calls, we'll see how that one does. I have an iron butterfly on in this one. And this was one of the main reasons why I entered this trade. My iron butterfly is targeting the 215 strike. I already took one target in that iron butterfly, but if CrowdStrike, just goes off to the races and goes up to 260 by the time options expiration hits, I will lose the second half of my butterfly. So by putting on call options, that hedges me out, where I will benefit if CrowdStrike moves up to 230, and then beyond that I'll profit. So that was a way of me like hedging out my risk, like, oh, this could go beyond my far strike, and then giving myself upside if CrowdStrike moves even further beyond that. And then into the close, I also put on some DocuSign July 16th 250 strike calls. DocuSign, this was a power earnings gap play. You can see here DocuSign looking really good here. So we had this powerful move off earnings. Then you can see we got a pullback to this 5-day exponential moving average. And now we had a bullish outside day today. I see this VPOC up ahead at 248. And I'm like, this thing could finally have the power to reach up and at the very least grab that VPOC. See, I got long the 250 strike calls for July. And then let's jump over to my stock trades for today. I got long AstraZeneca at 937 for 58.3. AstraZeneca, it's a healthcare name. And the healthcare names are super strong today. AstraZeneca, nice follow through for my entry. So this one closed at $58.84. This is day one of a breakout above this monthly value area. And what I think is very cool is that this was a breakout on multiple time frames. This is our weekly chart, and this right here is the yearly value area. So I like when you get the time frame continuity like that, because that means, it's not just short-term buyers that are likely in the market for this stock. It's longer term players as well. See that one looking pretty good. And then I think I did one more thing. Yeah, added to my net common shares for 91.22. I built this position in 3 pieces, and my average cost across all the lots is now $90.35. So now I have my full position in Cloudflare. Cloudflare looks fantastic. This one closed right on the highs. Awesome. This one on the weekly chart looks great. This just closed. If we close here by tomorrow, this will be, new highs. We'll be in new high territory on this weekly chart in terms of a weekly close. And you can see on the daily chart, this one keeps reaching up higher. So we'll see. Prior all-time high is 95.77. I marked that off. Could we get there? Could we go the distance? That is the real question. So we'll see in the coming days and weeks on that. But I'm just long the common shares. All right, let's pull up our options order flow real quick. And then we'll break for today. I'm actually going to go smash a workout after this. Yeah, I've been getting more into my workouts again and just trying to, get up to par with my running and my strength training again. So let's see. Let's jump over to our Tradescape. So you can see we always have the SPX, very high volume. Amazon, check this out. So we were just going over the Amazon chart earlier. There was a lot of activity for Amazon today. You can see these are the 3220s expiring June 18th. More for June. This one's interesting for August. 3,200 strike calls. For July, 3,200 strike calls. For July 23rd, 3,400 strike calls. I think it might be on in Amazon. I don't know. I think Amazon's going to be at the top of my watch list tomorrow. So I think I'm going to wrap it up on that just because, when Amazon looks like it's going to rip, I don't even think there's any point in going into any of these other stocks. With that being said, that about does it for this market recap video. Hope you all had an awesome trading day. If you are interested in joining the Pristine Capital trading community, feel free to go to pristinecapital.net. If you want to do a free trial, feel free to reach out to me. Would love to have you join the group.